Ahoy mates! Welcome on board Royal Caribbean's Allure of the Seas. We are here for a special 4-night trade event sailing the very first sailing of this ship from Galveston, Texas, and from that brand new cruise terminal. So if you're interested in all kinds of content from the sailing and the terminal, all that fun stuff, be sure to check out our Allure of the Seas playlist. For today's video, I want to take you around and give you that full and complete ship tour. We are going to visit and see all of the public spaces on board this massive ship, and we're going to take it deck by deck. So let's go ahead and get it started. We're going to head down to the bottom, work our way up. Our tour of Royal Caribbean's Allure of the Seas begins right now. Alright, deck 2 is where we will begin our journey. No deck 1 for the public on board Allure of the Seas. And deck 2 is like other ships, it's pretty basic. This is just your disembarkation area, port area. We get on and off the ship sometimes. And the only other thing here is in the midship elevators and stairs section where we are right now is the medical facility. So if you were to turn, come this way, forward between the elevators and stairs, and you'll find the entrance right there to the medical facility should you need it. And that's the only thing here to show on deck 2. Let's go to deck 3. All right, deck number 3 now. We're gonna have some other items on this deck, not just a medical center. A lot of it's just gonna be staterooms. We're gonna have a dining room here in the aft section, and then the conference center kind of off of the forward elevators and stairs. So let's start here in the back since we are at the port aft lobby. So right off of the aft elevators and stairs, or midship if you want to call it that, we will find the American Icon Grill. This is one of 3 main dining rooms on board the Allure of the Seas. So they're gonna be serving the same food, but they're gonna have kind of a different flair and a different kind of style to them. So you can see kind of like the American wilderness in these in these little pictures here. Let's take a quick look inside the actual dining room itself. So it's going to be multiple stories in here. Got the big painting there in the middle, large chandelier suspended from the ceiling, and you're going to have windows on the side, porthole windows letting in that natural light, or you can see the sunset in the evening. I like the twinkle star lights that they have up top there. And it's pretty massive dining room, but pretty standard, pretty much what we're used to seeing on other ships. And I think I had a bit of a misspeak there. It's basically all the same dining room. It just has different names depending on which deck you enter from. So we'll see the rest here just to kind of give you the idea. It's the American Icon that we just saw. Then there's the Grand, or the Grande if you prefer, and then Silk up top. So all that same dining room, just kind of different names depending on where you enter. So just to correct that, I now have come down the hallway here, and we are at the forward elevators and stairs. And as we turn, we'll find an area to go down to the exit gangway there, the escalators. And if we turn back this way, we will find the entrance to the conference center. So here we go. We see the sign there for the conference center and the names of the different rooms that they have available. They also have a conference center check-in desk right there. And then you would enter into the space here where you're utilizing that for some kind of meeting or for some kind of function. Like they have a private function going on right now, so we're not going to head in there, but this is where you would find that. And with that, we have covered everything for deck 3. We're good to go to 4. All right, deck 4, let it begin. We are here at the forward elevators and stairs. We're going to start off at the very forward part of the deck with the entrance to the Amber Theatre. Chelsea really likes the carpet here. Makes her think of the magic carpet from Aladdin. I totally agree. I'm not going to go in right now. We actually got some shots of the theater inside when we saw Mamma Mia last night, which we highly, highly, highly recommend you viewing when you're on board Allure of the Seas. It's probably the best show we've seen on a cruise ship. We thoroughly enjoyed it. Very nice theater. Like the colors in here. They have different kind of seating options as well. It's a really, really great space. Turning away from the entrance to the Amber Theatre, we will begin to make our way aft, so heading midship and then aft, I guess I should say. But we're done with the very forward part. So now we're going to enter this little entertainment district, little entertainment neighborhood. I love the sign here. That's pretty cool. We have a lot of different options here, different ways we can go. Let's go ahead and head over here on the starboard side, and we will find Jazz on 4, appropriately named because we are on deck 4, and this is where you can find some jazz. Just a little intimate venue. Nice leather seats here, couches, chairs, tables. Got the stage right there for the band to perform. I love the silhouette windows over there. And even got some jazz playing even though there's nothing live right now. Can't beat it. Directly across from Jazz on 4, we will find the entrance to Blaze, which is kind of like a nightclub area. Different activities at night. They might have a dance party in here, different things. So you see the very large bar, centrally located there, seating throughout. And then we do have a kind of like stage and dance floor area here. Check out that ceiling. That is cool. All the multiple colors up there. Love the stonework throughout. So it's a hopping place. Nice place to come in the evening, hang out with friends, get your dance and groove on. Just have a good time here at Blaze. I feel like a ping pong ball. We're going back and forth here from either side. So the next venue we'll find here, this is kind of more towards the starboard side, although it's right here in the same hallway. This is Comedy Live, of course, the comedy club on board. So if you were going to come see a comedy show, this is where it would be. Unfortunately, they have the doors closed right now for Comedy Live, but you can kind of see in there through the gap. It's a pretty small venue. There's a stage right in the middle, and they just have some chairs set up. Not many frills to it, but if you're interested in seeing a comedy show on board, probably want to get there early because of the size of the venue. It is limited seating. I'm sorry I can't show you the inside, but what I can show you are 2 tourist pigeons on a stack of newspaper. Continuing on to midship and aft, we now come across Studio B. Of course, this is the ice skating venue on board, so they'll have free session ice skating for you to partake in. They'll also have excellent ice skating shows for you to come and view. So we got some shots of the interior of Studio B when we came to the ice skating show during our sailing. I also would highly encourage you to check these out. They're always a very good time. Other ships that have received Royal Amplification would also have laser tag in Studio B, but not Allure of the Seas because it has not received that. And now you have a choice to make as you proceed aft on deck 4. You can go starboard side to the left, or you can go port side to the right. Either way, you're going to come across the same sort of thing, which is the art gallery. Can see it on the sign there, and also the entrance to Casino Royale. So basically it's just going to be a hallway on either side. They're going to have some of the Park West art up that you can purchase. They'll have a desk there that you can speak to someone about getting your art purchases handled and shipped and all of those different things, and it's just going to wrap around and head into Casino Royale. So again, same thing on the other side as well. It just depends which side you want to go through. And here is one of those aforementioned desks where they can assist you with those purchases. And as you exit your Park West Art Gallery hallway, whichever side you chose to go on, you will enter into Casino Royale. Now, of course, because this is an Oasis class ship, these are going to be some of the biggest casinos at sea that you'll find. They'll have all of your favorites, all of the slot machines, table games, blackjack, roulette, Texas Hold'em, all that good stuff, 3-card poker, all that fun stuff there. So you have the casino hostess there in the middle. They do lotto drawings as well. And then you're going to have bars in the center area as well. As you can see, it's completely massive because it stretches across basically the entire width of this ship, which is very, very large. Cashier's desk right over there in the corner, and you can see it just keeps going here. This is also a good place if you're trying to watch a sports game. They usually do have live sports going on. The TV's here at the bar, and then also just kind of on this other side, they have these little seating areas with the TVs there as well. Split areas here in Casino Royale. Typically, one half is smoking and the other half is non-smoking, but you're going to find the same kind of games and same kind of options on either side. So as you can see, it's quite a vast venue. Lots and lots of options for all those gambling fun times here in Casino Royale. Checking in on our map here, of course we started with the Amber Theater, came through the entertainment neighborhood. Again, I should point out this, I haven't talked about this yet. When you see these little icons, those designate the different neighborhoods or the different areas on board. So Entertainment Place is the neighborhood that we came through there. We're going to see some others as we proceed with our tour. But we saw this whole area past Studio B, again, the hallways on either side to go into Casino Royale, and now we just have a couple of things here on the back. So right when we come off of the aft elevators, or midship if you prefer, again, the Grand Restaurant or the Grande, whichever, I've heard it both ways. So again, this is going to be the same dining room that we just saw down below on deck 3, except this one is just going to have a different kind of design element. As you come in, it's not those natural wilderness pictures, it's a little bit more elegant. So all it really applies to is which floor you're assigned to for your main dining room, time or seating or whatever. So if you have my time, you might be on one deck. If you have a set seating, you might be on another, but it's the same dining room that we saw down below. This is just the middle deck of that. And as we exit the dining room, you can see across the entrance back into Casino Royale. But we're going to turn to the port side here because we have one of our favorite venues on board Royal Caribbean ships, which is Izumi, and this is Izumi Hibachi and Sushi. So you can sit at the hibachi table, have the chef prepare the meal right in front of you, that typical hibachi experience that you know and love from those various chain restaurants. And then you can also just do the sushi menu in here as well. They accommodate both. Let's take a quick look inside. So you can see the hibachi tables over here to the right, and as you can tell, there are only 3 of them, so it's pretty limited seating. You want to make sure you get those reservations in early. And then over to the other side is the seating for the sushi section. Porthole windows all along, so you can get that natural light coming in, or those beautiful views of the ocean in the evening. Oh, sorry, and I forgot to mention that these are specialty restaurants, so they do come at an additional cost. The main dining rooms that we've already shown, those are included. I'll try to remember to note that as we go through. And we have done the entirety of deck 4. We're going up to 5. All right, deck 5 now, and as you can see, we're in the aft elevators, aft lobby, elevators and stairs. If I say midship, it's the same thing. Some ships, Royal Caribbean calls it the midship elevators and stairs. On this one, they're calling it aft. Those are interchangeable. So you have one set of stairs and elevators at the forward part, one set of stairs and elevators in the aft or midship part. So there you go, if there's any confusion with that. So let's go ahead and start. Since we're here in the aft, we just have one thing to see here, which is the entrance to Silk, our third and final main dining room entrance. So again, same dining room that we saw on the other decks, just a little bit of a different theme, a little bit of an Asian flair as you enter the space, but it is going to be that same dining room. This is going to be the top deck, so you will be open air down to the decks below it on decks 4 and 3 for the Grand and the American Icon Grill. Let's take a quick look at the view from the top. So same kind of setup that we would see in those other dining room areas down below that you would expect to see from other ships. Nothing too crazy going on in here, but again, this is the top deck. It is open air, so you can't see down to those decks below. And as we look back at our map here, we can see Silk takes up the entirety of the aft section of deck 5. Everything else is going to be heading towards midship and forward. But one thing I did want to point out, you can see here, jogging track going along the perimeter of this deck essentially. And then there's an entrance to the fitness center as well. We'll get to showing that entrance. I'll show you from inside the fitness center a little bit later, but I did want to point out that you can access that jogging track by taking these perimeter doors out to the outside, starboard or port side. They also have them forward as well, so you can just head right outside here. Caution, runners on track, opens up, and there you go. All the way down there, open air, out to sea, and you can see they have the different lanes split up for walking and jogging, and it has all those motivational sayings the entire length of the span here. Back inside on deck 5, and we see our sign here says Royal Promenade, and we have one of those logos. This one's the car, because that means we're entering another neighborhood. So Royal Promenade is going to be another neighborhood area. So we're here in the aft section. We're just going to turn, and there is that beautiful, colorful sign welcoming us into the Royal Promenade. Lots of things to see inside here. Let's take a look. So the Royal Promenade is kind of a big circle, and it's also over 2 decks here. So I'm going to do my best to try to keep things organized instead of bouncing back and forth. It's usually best just to kind of make a circle. So that's what I'm going to do here. So I'm going to start here kind of on the port side of things. You do have an ATM as you come in. You also have those in the casino should you need them. And then the first thing you're going to come across is the Regalia jewelry shop there. You can go in and purchase those luxury jewelry items, necklaces, bracelets, watches, all that fun stuff inside. And the next thing here in the Royal Promenade is the guest services desk. So should you have any service issues, any questions, you need to handle something with your account, any and all inquiries, you can pretty much direct here to guest services. They will take great care of you there. Next door to guest services, we will find Cafe Promenade, and this venue is open 24 hours a day. It's also included with your cruise fare, the different foods that they offer here, though they do have specialty coffees and other drinks that are not included unless you have an appropriate beverage package to cover that. But see, here in the morning, they have different kind of pastries, muffins, donuts, different things like that, fruit cups, parfaits, yogurts. They'll change to sandwiches throughout the day, have desserts in the evening. All of these things are included with your cruise fare. It's just those special drinks that you might have to pay additional for unless you have a package that covers them. So you can see some of those options right there. Now they also have some included drinks here in Cafe Promenade, like iced water, iced tea, regular and decaf coffee, and hot water if you want to make yourself some tea or hot chocolate. They have different options right there, plus all the sugar, cream, or milk, and things like that that you would need. And here's a look at the car. If you're wondering why a car was the logo for the Royal Promenade, they usually put fancy cars inside of the promenades on Royal Caribbean ships due to the fandom of some of the higher ups there. And they always put these stuffed bears in them, which I like. And they're putting the cowboy hats. They gave everyone these cowboy hats when we boarded. This is the first sailing from Galveston for this ship. So that's pretty fun. Up next, as we make our way through the promenade, we will find Kate Spade, New York. So you're gonna have, looks like different kind of bags in here. I'm not familiar, but that's what I'm seeing. So you have those options inside. Just past Kate Spade, you will find Bow and Stern, which is the English pub on board. And I love the big ship with the globe up there with the waves. It looks super awesome. They will offer seating out here actually on the promenade itself, or you can head inside. I love all the signage they have here. Very nice. So it's a typical pub experience, dark woods. They'll have live music at night, could be acoustic guitar or different things like that. Have the bar going along the whole span in the back, and lots of comfortable seating. There is the stage for the live performance in the evening. It gets hopping here. Next to the pub, we will turn and start finding some shopping options. So you have Royal Port Merchants here, and this actually just kind of connects. This is all one big store space to Solera, and then over here the entrance says the shop. So it's just going to be different things. The Solera is going to have the health and beauty stuff, and then around the kind of the perimeter of that, you will find the Royal Caribbean merchandise. You see Allure of the Seas, all the Crown and Anchor kind of stuff in there, spirit jerseys, bottles, t-shirts, toys, lanyards, all that fun stuff. And then it just wraps it back around to the other side of that Port Merchants, which has more things like liquor, tobacco, snacks, different items that you can purchase inside those stores there. And our last thing to see here, port side for the Royal Promenade, is On Air, which is essentially like basically a sports bar and a mixed use entertainment space. I love how they have the tickers running up here with the different things. But as you come inside, you'll find the booths in the back, tables and chairs up front. They do have a small stage in here in case they're doing something like karaoke or, you know, trivia, things like that. But they will have the TVs in here playing the live sports, especially over at the bar, so you can utilize this space for that should you choose to do so. There's also another ATM as you exit On Air here more towards the forward part. Now we're going to turn, because again, this is kind of the end of our Royal Promenade. Again, a big circle here. One thing we'll find here in the center area is Starbucks coffee. Now, Starbucks coffee is included with certain beverage packages on other ships where it's not a standalone location. But if it's a standalone location like this, you have to pay additional for it, whether or not you have a beverage package. So just keep that in mind, but you do have Starbucks here. Now we're going to come over here and go back down the promenade on the starboard side. And the first venue we're going to find is Boleros, the Latin Lounge. And I mentioned some other venues here get hopping at night, but if you want to talk about really getting hopping, this is the place. So they have the giant dance floor in here next to the stage where they will have those live music performances in the evening, and then they have the lounge space all throughout. They might do some events like trivia and things like that throughout the day, and then you have the dual-sided bar here in the center under the blazing sun there. Now as we proceed back through the Royal Promenade, I want to point out they will have chairs available for you to sit throughout various locations in the middle here. They'll also have these desks where they'll have different items on sale throughout various points of the cruise. So certain things that they want to specifically, push to sell, or if they're going to have a promotion on, things like that. Another thing to look out for here in the promenade, you do have the skylights up above letting in that natural light from Central Park. We'll get to that later. You also have promenade view interior rooms. So those are actually staterooms up there. In those windows, they are interior rooms, so you don't have a view out to the ocean or anything like that, but you do have a view down here into the Royal Promenade. It's a pretty fun option if you're looking for that. Just past Boleros, we will find Regalia Jewelry again, so another jewelry store here if you want to grab that. And then next to that, we will find one of the Royal Caribbean fan favorites, Sorrento's Pizza. So you see the big sign here at the entryway. Now this is included with your cruise fare, so you can come and get a slice. They're usually open pretty late, though not 24/7. They do have seating here on the front side, right in the promenade, or a larger seating area over here to the side. I want to point out they do have a couple of Coke Freestyle machines, so if you've purchased any kind of beverage package, you'll get that refillable souvenir cup, and you can use it at the Freestyle machines on board. So they do have a couple of them here as well. And then you just come in, order your pizza, get your different kind of toppings. They have like usually like an olive bar or an antipasta bar kind of thing, and they'll have a special of the day. So they usually have pepperoni, cheese, and vegetarian, and then they'll switch one out every day as well. They usually also have some complimentary drinks here like iced water, lemonade, or tea. And as we exit the area for Sorrento's, we will find the next cruise desk. This is where you want to come to book that next sailing while you're on board. They will give you a special offer if you do so. People always ask me, is it worth booking at the next cruise desk? Yes, because they're going to give you the same offer that you would get back home, except they're going to throw some onboard credit on there or give you a discount depending on what kind of stateroom you book and how long the sailing is. You also get reduced deposits here, and they will set up the booking with your travel agent. So you can tell them, hey, we want to keep Hoffman Happy Travels on the booking. If you're already our client, or if you're a new client, you can say, hey, we want them cruise planners on our booking so they can take care of that, and they'll get you all set up here. So it's a really great option. Get you secured on that next cruise. Go have some fun, and you don't have to be so sad about your current cruise ending. Now next to next cruise, we will find this spiral staircase. Going up will take you to the upper deck of the Royal Promenade, but going down, as the sign says, will take you back into Casino Royale. So just keep that in mind that you have that option. Now next to that, we will find the collection. This is just an additional shopping space on board. Looks like they're, again, doing handbags and purses and things. Looks like they have some sunglasses in there. So some different accessories should you be looking to add those to your collection. Oh, and real quick, you might see these as we go through the tour, this little droid, Wall-E, cousin-looking thing. These are little art installations. You can actually look through these little binoculars and you'll see a piece of art. It's kind of hard to do on the camera. There you go. So they're just like called small wonders, and they're all throughout the ship, just various locations. So take a look inside when you're on board. Last thing we'll find over here on the starboard side of the Royal Promenade is the Champagne and Martini Bar. It's called Champagne Bar, but that sign says Champagne and Martini. They want to distinguish that. Now this area is usually Bionic Bar on ships that are newer or have received Royal Amplification, but since Allure of the Seas has not, it is still the Champagne and Martini Bar. So just that kind of neutral tones. You have the glasswork up above, and of course it wouldn't be the bar without the bar right there in the center. Now we're back where we came in. I mentioned the ATM on that side when we came in. On this side you do have the port and shopping desk, so if you're looking to do some shopping while you're in port, speak to the experts there. They'll get you a map, they'll tell you where to go, and they can even maybe get you some good deals. One final thing to point out in the Royal Promenade area, they have this lovely colorful fountain. It is not just a fountain though, it is so much more than that. You see these lift chains here up on the side because that is a bar up there. It's called the Rising Tide Bar. It starts here in the Royal Promenade and goes all the way up to deck 8 in the Central Park. You can actually sit on it while it moves. It will rise and it will lower just like the tides, and it is a bar, so you get your drinks and enjoy, have a great view from that. We'll show you what the bar looks like itself once we get up to Central Park, but it's really cool. I like how they do the colorful water fountains here when it's not down and operating. So really fun option, a really unique bar. That's going to do it for the Royal Promenade area on this deck, though. We still have some things to see up on the next deck, but we still need to go forward. I have one more thing to show you before we finish up with deck 5. All right, deck 5 forward now. So we saw the entrance to Silk. We saw the entire Royal Promenade there. I mentioned the jogging track that goes around. Last thing to see here is that there is an upper deck entrance to the Amber Theater. So there's 2 levels to the theater. If you want the upper one, you'll find it here on deck 5. But with that said, that is the last thing to show here on deck 5. We're done, so we're gonna go to 6. All right, deck 6, and we are at the forward elevators and stairs here. Now we have, deck 6 is kind of split up. You're gonna have stuff in the front, stuff in the back, not too much in the middle except the upper deck of the Royal Promenade. So we're here forward, we're gonna go ahead and start forward. So we're just gonna turn, and we will find the entrance to the Vitality at Sea Spa and Fitness Center. Let's head inside and take a look. So this is going to be a very large space, larger than on other ships because of the size of the ship. So right when you come in, you do have the Vitality Cafe. You can get fresh squeezed juices over there, smoothies, different things like that. Most of it is at an additional cost, but if you have at least the refreshment package, it will cover a lot of that. And just as a point of reference, here is a look at the menu board for the Vitality Cafe. Now, right when we come in over here on the left, we will have the salon. You can do hair treatments, and I think they also do some nail treatments in there as well. Yes, I can see some people through the blinds there getting the nail treatments done. And proceeding on back, we do have a consultation area here, so you can give you some advice, go over different treatments, even do some different kind of treatments. They're also selling some products in the display cases over there as well. And then as we come here, we will find the main reception desk, and this is where it splits off. Over to the left, we have the Vitality at Sea Fitness Center. Over to the right, we have the Vitality at Sea Spa. All right, let's start to the right here with the Vitality at Sea Spa area. I'm not sure how much we'll be able to see because, you know, we're not going to interrupt treatments and things like that. They do have the Smile Spa here, so you can do some teeth whitening treatments and different oral procedures there. I love all the Zen garden stuff throughout the space. And then as we wrap back around, we should start getting into the different treatment room areas, but let's head on back. Yeah, I forgot on Oasis class ships how it is split up here. So you're gonna have the main stairwell to go down to the actual treatment area. I did want to point out a couple things though. One, there is an accessible lift here should you need that instead of using the stairwell. Number two, we do have the Y spa over here on this side, which if I'm not mistaken is a like teen spa area. So you see they have different treatment rooms throughout here to do that. The main spa area and treatment rooms are going to be down the stairwell here, so let's go ahead and head down. And I will point out, if you're nervous about walking over certain things, that the stairwell here is completely glass. So if that makes you nervous, you may want to use the lift. So we land at the bottom of the stairwell. We'll see it still says Vitality at Sea Spa. There is a smaller desk here, and it splits off to the different locker rooms and the different treatment rooms on either side. So yes, the individual treatment rooms as well as the thermal suite are back through these hallways. They will escort you back there. Unfortunately, we can't film in there right now because people are utilizing it, so we won't be able to show you that, but just know this is where it's at. And back at our main desk, we'll now turn to the left to go into the Vitality at Sea Fitness Center. And they do have this kind of lounge area, consultation area here as well, right when you enter. Then we'll just turn and head back into the actual fitness center space. So they do, of course, have fresh towels right when you enter here. And they're gonna have the different machines here pointed out, this porthole windows, treadmills, and the likes, looking straight out to sea. And then we'll turn in the middle area and find different resistance weight machines that you can utilize here. And it continues all the way across to that side as well. Have a water fountain here. They have some dumbbells, yoga mats, medicine balls you can use. Looks like they even do some suspension work over there. Different classes. They have this whole space here to utilize for those different classes and different workout areas. Again, more resistance machines, dumbbells, more treadmills over here. Lots of stuff going on. It's a pretty big space. And it looks like they also have a little bit of a spin studio in there as well. Now here in the middle area, you can see that there is a stairwell here. This goes down to the running and jogging track back outside. So you can also access the fitness center from this area, or you can exit it and go for a jog. One last thing to point out is right when you come in, they do have a couple of private consultation areas as well. All right, so now that we've seen the Vitality at Sea Spa and Fitness Center, that's everything here in the forward and pretty much to the midship as well, other than the upper deck of the Royal Promenade, which we cannot access from this side. We need to be back here to get there. Now you could walk down the stateroom corridors to get there, but my point is you won't be able to go like through here and just access it. You'll have to come around and then enter from this way. So we're gonna do that right now. All right, so I have come down the stateroom corridor here. I'm now, as the red dot shows, at the aft elevators and stairs. So now we can access the upper deck of the Royal Promenade. Again, it does not go the entire span of the promenade. It's just kind of like about halfway and then it stops. So we're gonna have some different options up here. So over here on the side, on the port side, we're gonna find the entrance to the schooner bar. Of course, available on every Royal Caribbean ship, nautical theme, piano bar, dark woods, ropes, masts, sails, different things like that. And you're gonna have the bar all the way at the end there. And just off of the schooner bar, you will find this little kind of office area. This is the Crown and Anchor Society desk. So the loyalty office, if you have questions about your Crown and Anchor status, or you just need something in that regard, they post the hours of operation right there on the desk, and you can come visit them with those inquiries when they're open. Oh, and we see this large telescope-looking thing here. This is also a small wonder, like that binocular thing that I said looked like a droid or Wally. They also have them like this, so you just look straight down from the top, and you'll be able to see some art. Now over on the starboard side of the upper deck of the Royal Promenade here on deck 6, we will find a couple of different things. First, we will find shore excursions. So if you did not pre-purchase your shore excursions before getting on board, you can come over here and do so. They also have the Focus Photo Gallery. So if you had any professional photos taken on board, you can swipe your SeaPass card here. They'll come up on the little kiosk and you can purchase them. It also looks like they're still doing printout books, which have pretty much gone by the wayside on newer ships. They also have some photo areas here. It looks like they could maybe do some professional photos in this area. It's so crazy seeing these old books where they print out the pictures. You just don't see that anymore on the newer ships or the ones that have been updated or amplified. They also have a merchandise counter back here, so you can purchase GoPro cameras, these little like etched crystal picture things. They also have Instapic cameras, SD cards, different kind of accessories. Here's your GoPro stand, with the different GoPros and clips and things like that. They also have batteries, like just standard batteries if you're looking for that. Little keychains and odds and ends, picture frames, different kind of things you can purchase. Even another GoPro stand here. And then you can come over here to the side and get a good view of the promenade from up above. So you can see here, it kind of dead ends. I can't go any further. That's a crew area. If we look across to the schooner bar, there's the bar area that I mentioned, and it stops right there because that's a crew area. That's a stage where they perform live music and do fun activities sometimes. So this is it. This is the extent of the Royal Promenade on the upper deck. You do have this staircase that I mentioned down below. If we were to continue going, it would take us into Casino Royale. So that is it for the Royal Promenade. We're gonna keep heading aft here on deck 6. Checking back in here on our map, we took care of the forward part with the spa and the fitness center. We've now taken care of the midship part with the upper deck of the Royal Promenade. So we're going to leave the neighborhood of the Royal Promenade and we're going to enter another neighborhood area. This one has a carousel horse as the logo. Of course, it's the Boardwalk. The Boardwalk is a staple of Oasis class ships and it is appropriately named. You can see all the theming here, the different stages of the carousel horses being created. They're carving out the wood and tracing, and then it finally gets painted at the end and ends at that carousel. We'll look at that in just a second. Did want to point out that they have all this fun artwork like funhouse mirrors, again invoking that Boardwalk kind of carnival theme. And then the Zoltar machine, of course, he's always here lurking over everything. So yeah, the carousel here is kind of the focal point of the center area of the Boardwalk. This is included with your cruise fare. You can ride the carousel. Kid, adult, it does not matter your age, no cost for it. So go on that and have a good time. Over here on the starboard side, we will find the Boardwalk Doghouse. This is where you can come and get hot dogs, sausage dogs, things like that. And they are included with your cruise fare, so no additional cost for that. Across from that, we will find Boardwalk Donuts. So open in the morning, come over, get some donuts, grab them right there. They also have some coffee and juice, again, included with your cruise fare. Now that we're at the carousel, we kind of have a similar situation as the Royal Promenade. It's kind of a circle here. So we're gonna go left kind of over here to the starboard side because we are heading towards the back, and we'll work our way around. So right when we come up, we find kind of a shopping area that just goes all together here. Pinwheels and Candy Beach Suites. It's kind of all just one big shop. Now this is not like Sugar Beach that we've seen on newer ships or amplified ships. It does not have like the grab bag candy and things like that, but you do have prepackaged candy that you can grab in there, little sweet treats. They even have some chips and things like that. Now over on this side, it's just gonna be kind of like kids swimwear, toys, towels, little shoes and shirts and things like that. So just some little shopping here. Next to those, we will find another shopping area here at Star Pier. This area is just going to kind of have some random odds and ends. Looks like they have some swimwear in there, some attire, beach bags, different things like that that you might use when you're swimming or heading to the beach. As we make our way back here, we see the sign says Diner, drive in and eat in the Route 66 style. This is Johnny Rockets, of course, available on a lot of different Royal Caribbean ships. Now, here on Oasis class ships, Johnny Rockets is actually included with your cruise fare for breakfast. There is a set charge if you come and eat for lunch or dinner there. So they do have the outdoor seating right here on the boardwalk. You can grab a table and chairs here in the open air because that's something important I haven't really pointed out in case you didn't know. It is completely open air all the way to the top, so we are getting the fresh air here. So you can sit outside here in that fresh air, or you can go inside and eat actual diner style at the counter there or in the different booths that they have available. Something fun I want to point out here just past Johnny Rockets is that they have these different posters that look like boardwalk, you know, fair games or carnival games or whatever you want to call them. Now notice that it has this little icon here and it says launch the app and tap the circus icon to play. So if you open the Royal Caribbean mobile app and you tap that circus icon on the main page, it will bring up little games that you can play, interactive games that you can play on your phone for free using these different posters. They're located throughout the boardwalk. Lots of fun, and it's free, so why not do it? Now we have reached the end of this side of the boardwalk and we come to one of the standout venues of any Oasis class ship. It is the Aqua Theatre. So this is where they will do those awesome aqua shows in the evening. They will do kind of like acrobatics, dancing, diving. So they have diving platforms there, and even all the way up the top there, they will dive. Now they do also have the two giant video boards on either side. They'll sometimes show live sports if there's a big game on. They'll show movies out here, different things like that. So it's a very unique space. You can see it's completely open air here. Come and grab a seat and enjoy the Aqua Theatre show. And you have the beautiful view out to the back and that wake view when you are sailing. Now, something here on both sides of the boardwalk, starboard and port, that are technically not here on deck 6, but this is where you access them. You can see it right there, rock climbing wall. So they have these giant rock climbing walls on either side. I think it's like 43 feet tall or something like that. And spin around here, and you can see them there as well. So you can climb up there. So yeah, again, technically up higher on that platform is where you'll begin, but you actually access it via here on deck 6. There's some stairs around the back that say rock climbing wall, and you just head up there. Oh, also there's typically a shuffleboard court behind one of the video boards, so you might want to check that to see if you can play shuffleboard there. And one last thing, if you're wondering what these little tiered areas are, those are actually Aqua Theatre suites. So those are staterooms. People can actually book those. You could book those if you want. We'll help take care of that for you as travel agents. But you can book there and you'll have your own balcony looking right here to the Aqua Theatre. It's a pretty unique experience. All right, so now we're gonna go back and see the rest of the boardwalk here on the port side. So first thing, we will have this really cool, like Southwestern themed play area, little climb area for the kids. Come in here and play around, climb, have some fun in that themed area, plus the fun photo opportunity. Now, you'll notice some differences between Allure of the Seas here in the boardwalk and other Oasis class ships, the newer ones or the amplified ones like Oasis of the Seas. This is where you would find playmakers on those ships. No playmakers here, not yet anyways, but we still have Sabor, which is the taqueria and tequila bar. This is a specialty restaurant, so it is an additional cost, but they do have some great food options here as well. I think the tableside guacamole is one of the fan favorites. I've never had it myself, but I hear good things. And here in the middle, you'll also find the Sabor. I guess this is the tequila bar portion, so they will be serving up drinks there throughout most of the day. It's still morning time, so there's no one there right now. But here together, Sabor, the tequila bar, and the taqueria right here next to that. And of course, one other difference between Allure of the Seas and those newer Oasis class ships or the amplified ones is right here on those other ships you would find the Ultimate Abyss dry slide, but it does not exist on this ship. Next to Sabor, we will find the arcade. Now, it's not the, I shouldn't say the arcade, it's one arcade. There's actually a couple of different ones. This is the smaller one on board, so it's not very large at all. Have a couple games, Fruit Ninja, you know, Plucky Ducky, Road Trip, all that stuff, claw games, piano, and they have a couple of lane masters here as well. Now, of course, these are all additional costs. A little bit of a tip though, if you know you're gonna play arcade games on board, you can purchase arcade credits ahead of your cruise on the My Royal Cruise section of the Royal Caribbean website, and you will get a 20% discount compared to buying it on board. So something to consider. We are going to see a larger arcade later in the tour. Last thing to see here in the boardwalk area is Cups and Scoops. This is where you can come and get some ice cream on board. Now, to see on the sign there, it says Ben & Jerry's, so this is additional cost. This is not included with your cruise fare. Now, there are some ice cream options on board that are included with your cruise fare. I'll show you those as we go throughout, but this one is additional cost because it is the Ben & Jerry's. Now that we have completed the boardwalk area, we've also completed deck 6, number 7. All right, deck number 7, and if you've seen any of our other ship tours, you know that this is where I usually get very happy because we usually start doing decks that only have staterooms. I love Oasis class ships, but this is one of my least favorite things, is that they'll put these little odd and little small things I have to show. It's okay, not too much. We're of course gonna show you everything. However, here on deck 7, as you can see there, and up on our map, it is just staterooms on this deck. Nothing to show here. We're going on to 8. All right, deck number 8 now, and this is the one that kind of really throws off the whole all staterooms deck thing, because you start with 7 all staterooms. These decks are mostly staterooms, but deck 8 actually has a huge area that we need to see, as well as some other odds and ends. So we are here in the aft elevators. One thing to see right here in the back is dazzles, and I love the colorful ceiling lights here right when you enter Dazzle. So it's a mixed use space. They'll have live entertainment in the evening. You see you have a lounge space around here on the sides, the stage right there in the middle, big windows all the way in the back looking out towards the boardwalk. This place definitely gets hopping at night with the live performances, and there's even an upper deck. We'll see that in just a little bit. So Dazzles is the only thing in the aft section of deck 8 that you actually access besides staterooms. So now we're going to turn and head forward, and we're going to enter our next neighborhood. So remember our icons. We saw the entertainment place, Royal Promenade, Boardwalk. We have our next one, the tree with the bench. It of course is Central Park. Let's take a look. So there's our logo on the doors, and we head outside. Now, I mentioned how the Boardwalk is a staple of Oasis class ships. Central Park is as well, and it's probably even more unique because all of these plants and trees that you see before you are live. These are real. It is tons of fresh air in here. It is also completely open air up to the sky above. Now again, I mentioned Allure of the Seas has not received Royal Amplification. It's not a newer Oasis class ship, so you would see water slides over there on those newer ships. Allure of the Seas does not have water slides, so we will not be seeing that here. But yeah, you can come into Central Park area, chill out, get that fresh air, lots of oxygen here with the different plants. They pipe in some bird noises during the day, cricket noises at night. They'll do live string performances, smooth jazz, acoustic guitar, different things like that. So here's a map of Central Park right when we come in. And again, it's kind of going to be a circular kind of thing. So we're just going to go down one way and come back the other just to try to see everything. Some restaurants, some shops, all that stuff. So let's start over here on the port side and we'll work our way around. So the first thing we'll find is Chops Grill. This is the Royal Caribbean Steakhouse, and it is a specialty restaurant, so it does come at an additional cost. And here's a look inside the restaurant. Different seating areas on either side. The welcome area right here as you come in. Dark woods, got the wine stored back there. And one of my favorite features of Central Park is that there is al fresco dining at the various restaurants. So this is for Chops Grill. They do have the table set up here, so you can dine outside. This one is actually covered via the glass, so even if it's raining, you'll be good to go. That's not always the case. We'll see some different spots that do not have that, but here at Chops Grill it is completely covered. But since it is glass, you do get the sunlight or the sunset coming in, see the stars at night, all that fun stuff. And as we make our way around here, the next spot we'll find is the Trellis Bar. So of course a spot to come and get drinks, appropriately named because of the trellis up above. Next stop on our tour of Central Park here is Park Cafe. Now this eating venue is included with your cruise fare. So you're gonna have some different grab and go options like fruit cups, parfait. They'll have different kind of pastries as you can see here. Donuts, muffins, they even got some hot sandwiches there. They usually have a salad bar over here on this side where they can make the salad for you. Hi! All that fun stuff. They even have a little bar area here where you can do some fresh squeezed juices and some specialty coffees and different things like that. So those are an additional cost unless you have a beverage package that includes those. But the food is included with the cruise fare. It's a great spot. See, they have a big dining area on the interior here, but they also have some seats outside as well. And here's a look at that outdoor seating for Park Cafe. And there's seats all throughout Central Park. So even if you can't find a table there, you can wind your way through and hopefully find something. Next door to Park Cafe, we will find, picture this, Portrait Studio. So if you're looking to have some professional portraits done, you can set up a photo session and they can take care of you right inside of there. You see they have the different examples and the light diffusers, all that stuff set up there. Past the photo studio, we will find regalia in the park. So again, just more jewelry options, very similar to what we have already seen from those other shops. Just different accessory options inside of there. And the last thing here on the port side is Coach. So if you're looking for your Coach bags and accessories, you will find those inside here. So now we've reached the forward exit of the Central Park area. So we'll take a look here at our map once again. So we started here, we saw Chops Grill, Trellis Bar, Park Cafe, picture this, and the different stores. So now we're gonna come back this way and go back down the starboard side. First thing we'll find on the starboard side is Vintages. This is the wine bar on board. So this is a pretty intimate and calm space. You see all the wine stored back there behind the bar and some additional stored over here as well. Very comfortable seating in here, plush chairs. They have the big couches and even some kind of like tucked away seating in the corner over there. And like other areas here in Central Park, Vintages also offers outdoor seating. And past Vintages, we will find another specialty restaurant, Giovanni's Table. This, of course, is the Italian restaurant on board, and it also offers that outdoor seating. Now, they do have these little shades here with the lights, but it is not covered like the Chops Grill seating was. So if it rained, you would not be able to sit here. You would be getting wet. But of course, they also have the restaurant inside. Let's take a look. And it looks like some of the officers are actually having a meeting in there right now, so I don't want to disrupt them and show you inside, but it's just standard seating. It's not really much to it. I would actually recommend you sitting outside when you dine here because it's such an elegant experience, such a wonderful experience with the open air and getting the cool breezes at night. And again, some live entertainment often performed here in this stage area. So past Giovanni's, the next thing that we will come to here on this side of Central Park is 150 Central Park. So this is a little bit more of an elegant restaurant. You're gonna have some kind of higher end offerings. This is a big fan favorite. Lots of people love this restaurant here. It is a specialty restaurant, so it is coming at an additional cost. And they also have a couple of table and chairs out here, and this one actually has a chessboard on it with the chess pieces that you can actually use. And of course here, centrally located in Central Park, this is the Rising Tide Bar. Remember we talked about it down in the Royal Promenade. I said it's all the way up in Central Park right now, so this is where you can actually board it as well. So those are the only two boarding areas here on Deck 8 in Central Park, are back down on Deck 5 in the Royal Promenade. And you can see they have the different seating there. They have the bar over there at the front. Got all the glass so that you can see outside. There's even glass up at the top. And it's funny because if you actually look down below, we can see back into the Royal Promenade. There's those colorful fountains spraying up. So this is a really cool experience. Highly recommend taking in the Rising Tide Bar when you're on board Allure of the Seas or any other Oasis class ship. A couple of things to point out before we leave the Central Park area. You see these windows here? Those are actually interior rooms, much like those Royal Promenade view rooms that I talked about earlier. So you can actually stay in these rooms and have a view of Central Park. No view of the ocean, but a view here of the Central Park area. Up above that, you'll see those balconies. Those are Central Park balconies. So same sort of thing. It's a balcony room, but you can't see the ocean. You're just looking here in Central Park, but it is completely open air. I forgot to mention and show it, but they also have these on the Boardwalk. Same kind of thing. You have certain rooms that are labeled Royal Promenade or Promenade View interior rooms actually view the Boardwalk, so be mindful of that when choosing a stateroom. But they also have balconies out on the Boardwalk as well, just like these, open air, but instead of viewing Central Park, it views the Boardwalk. Now some other balconies a lot of people don't know about, right there on Deck 9 where we're going to be heading in just a little bit. See that? Those are right off the elevators and stairs. You can open the door, come right out on that balcony. They have a table and chairs there, and over on this side as well. And those are free to use. Come out and just enjoy Central Park from up above. And now that we have completed the Central Park area, the forward part of Deck 8 is just staterooms, so we're done here. Let's go to 9. All right, deck number 9 now, and this deck is mostly staterooms, other than those little balconies I talked about in Central Park, and the upper deck of Dazzles. Let's go take a look at that. All right, so now at the aft elevators and stairs, we'll turn right here, centrally located, is that upper deck entrance to Dazzles. So as we enter the upper deck of Dazzles here, they'll have those starlights in the ceiling here. And you can see they have the table and chairs all the way around here, even some booth seating tucked up. And it's open air back down to the deck below the stage, and you have the windows looking out to the boardwalk, and you can actually see those boardwalk balconies I was talking about as well. And with that taken care of, number 9 is done. 10 on deck. Deck number 10, just staterooms. Nothing to see. Let's go to 11. Deck number 11 now, and just a couple of small things to see. Most of this deck is staterooms, where you have 2 smaller venues right off the aft elevators and stairs here. Starting with the Diamond Club. Of course, this is a lounge space for those members of the Crown and Anchor Society who have reached at least Diamond status, Diamond, Diamond Plus, or Pinnacle. Having a private function right now, but you can see inside of there, it does have those big windows looking out towards the back above the boardwalk. And next door to the Diamond Club, they do have the library on board. This is also where you'll find the community bulletin board. But inside the library is just a small little intimate space where you can read or maybe do a crossword, play little games, things like that. So it's just a small little space inside with a couple of chairs. And with those 2 venues checked, we are done with deck 11. Now on to 12. Deck number 12, just staterooms and the upper deck of the Diamond Club. So if you actually come over here though, you'll see that there is no doorway. There's no entry point here, so it is only accessible back down on deck 11, and there's a staircase that you can take up. But other than the top level of the Diamond Club, deck 12 is just staterooms, so we are done here. We are not going to go up to deck 13 because there is not a deck 13. We are going to go up to deck 14 instead. Deck 14 begins, and this deck is mostly staterooms as well, with a couple of exceptions. A big one at the forward part, which we'll get to in a second. A small one here in the aft, which is the card room named 7 Hearts on board Allure of the Sea. So kind of like the library, it's just kind of like a small intimate space. You can come in, play cards, play board games. They also have some computer areas set up should you need those. You need to print something or access the internet and you don't have your own device, you can do that in there. Alright, so deck 14 forward now. We're at the forward elevators and stairs, and we'll just turn and head completely forward here, kind of in the middle of the deck, and we will find the entrance to Adventure Ocean. So of course, Adventure Ocean is the kids club area on board. You see the sign right there that says Kids Avenue on it. All the different animals painted on the wall. This fun little interactive art as we come in here. And right here on the right in the entry hallway is the workshop room. You can do arts and crafts inside of there. So you see they have the different tables and chairs set up to do those different kind of arts and crafts activities. And then we can head into the main area, and this is where it splits off. As you can see, the sign says here, over to the right, we have Royal Babies and Tots for the young ones, Imagination Studio, and Aquanauts. Over to the left, the Adventure Ocean Theater, Adventure Science Lab, Voyagers, and Explorers, the older age group. So let's go ahead and head over here to the right. And we'll see the sign for Royal Babies and Tots, so just the super young ones in there. You can see they have like the little playroom space inside for them. That's usually one of the simpler rooms since they are the younger kids. Got the artwork all throughout here, and it's just kind of a circle, so it's going to come around over here to this side. So let's go back and take a look at the other side of the entryway we came in. And also here in the middle when we came in, the playroom, as we can see, is just kind of like a big indoor playground. They have the climbing play sets, the different toys, the little playhouses inside of there. You see the doors on the other side to the back, and now we'll head over to the left-hand side. And over here on the left, we will find the entrance to the Adventure Ocean Theater. So they'll do movies and different kind of shows inside of this little theater space that they've created for them. Unfortunately, it is closed and locked, so we're not able to look inside. But it's just a small theater room. It's fun, but it's nothing crazy that you need to see. It's just an area they'll do those movies and shows. Let's head to the back. And as we head to the back here, we have another split off. So we're going to go to the right. The first thing we'll find is the Imagination Studio. So this is another area they can do arts and crafts, different group activities inside. Love the lighting and the big crayons. Lots of fun. And then next to that, we will find the room for the Aquanauts, ages 3 to 5. So we can take a look in here. Oh, nice climber in there. Got a little slide. Activities area, little play sets, little playhouses and toys, and windows to look out. And back in the middle, heading over to the left side, the first thing we'll find is the Adventure Science Lab. So that's pretty self-explanatory, doing kind of some science projects in here, different things with space and chemistry and whatnot, doing some fun activities with some colors it looks like in there with the different liquids. And then next to the Adventure Science Lab, we will find the Voyagers room, ages 9 to 11, so a little bit of a bigger play spot in here, group activity space. They have some books and also TVs with video games. And next to that, we'll find Explorers, ages 6 to 8, so this is just a continued play area from the other side that we saw. It wraps all the way around over here. And so Adventure Ocean, again, the only thing here at deck 14 forward, so we are done with deck 14. We're gonna go up to deck 15. And actually, as I say that, it's not listed here on the map at all, but as I turn and come over here towards the port side, you see this says Sun Deck 14. Well, let's do some exploring. Oh, yeah, there's another sign. Let's go see what this is about. So I've come all the way forward, deck 14 port side. At the end of the hall, there was this little step up in a doorway, and sure enough, you could hit the button to come out and come out on this sun deck, which is awesome. Hit the wings there, you can walk out, look towards the back, get the view up of the solarium up above. We'll get to that in just a little bit. Tons of lounge chairs out here. Why don't they put this on the map? This is amazing. Can look down to the bow of the ship, the helipad. And oh, actually, this is a good point. Oasis class ships, you cannot access the helipad as a guest. There's a crew area only. So other ships, we would show you how to get there. Cannot do that here. But look, you get these great views up here. Plenty of sun. This is appropriately named Sun Deck. Again, walk out on the wing. Look back here. This is awesome. Man, they really should put this on the map. This is a great spot. And it just continues all the way over here to the starboard side. It also has this little wing walkout area. More lounge chairs here. Also, Celebrity Beyond right there, which we were just on a few days ago for a special 2-night trade event where they did a naming ceremony with Simone Biles, the godmother. It was awesome. So if you're interested in Celebrity Beyond, be sure to check out our playlist for that. I have a full ship tour there as well. But yeah, this is a great spot. Great little sun deck. Great views. I really wish they'd put this on the map so more people know about it. But you know about it because you watched this ship tour, so I hope you've enjoyed. And I think now we're done with deck 14. Now we can go to 15. Deck 15 is where a lot of fun stuff is going to be happening because this is the pool deck, the sports deck, the solarium deck, all kinds of stuff. So we are here in the forward part. So let's go ahead and start with that, with the whole solarium area, and then we'll make our way through the pool deck area and then back to the sports court. So turning here forward, we can go starboard, we can go port, it does not matter. Either way, we'll have access to the solarium, which of course is a space reserved for 16 years and older. Let's go take a look. Now, right when you come outside the doors, this is technically not in the solarium yet, so anyone really could use these, but they do have these whirlpool hot tubs that kind of built up, almost infinity style, kind of there with the big windows. They do have TVs up above, usually showing sports, and skylight up above as well. So you get great views here from these hot tubs. Again, either side, starboard or port, but then you turn and you head forward and you actually enter the solarium area itself. You can see on the signs there, adult area ahead, guests 16 plus are welcome. So right when we enter on the port side, we'll have a towel station. If you need to rent some towels, you can do that. And then we'll find a double use venue here. See, it says Samba Grill on the menu, but this is actually the Solarium Bistro. So here on Allure of the Seas, this area is the Solarium Bistro for lunch, at least. I don't know if they also do breakfast. They haven't on our sailing, but for lunch. And Solarium Bistro is included with your cruise fare. But in the evening, they change it to Samba Grill, the Brazilian steakhouse. That is a specialty restaurant, and it is an additional cost. But you can see it's a pretty big space in here. I do like how they have the water and the fountains all around it, some outdoor seating as well, and the glass just looking right back out to the solarium. So the solarium is a very relaxing space. It is open air, partially. See the gap there. They do have the glass up above, but it is open air, so you are getting some fresh air in here. Again, the water and the fountains throughout, some different plants, tables, chairs, lounging spaces, and then you're gonna have the hot tubs in here as well. So lounge chairs all the way around, looking out to the forward part of the ship. You'll have the hot tub here, one on the other side as well, and then you'll have like kind of the small, relaxing plunge pool area here, centrally located past the showers and past the chairs. You can cut back in here, go towards the restaurant, you can go over to the other side, which is pretty much going to be a mirror image of this side. So pool centrally located, hot tub on either side, got the chairs all the way around over there, and the solarium here is actually 2 decks, so we can kind of go up the stairs here. I guess technically this would be up on the next deck level, but we'll go ahead and do it since this is where we'll access it. So you still have the beautiful views out the glass there, lounge chairs up top here, but we will also find the solarium bar here centrally located, and you can use the doors to get back inside as well. So you can access it from the staircase here in the solarium or through the doors there up, actually high up on this deck. Now let's go back down though to deck 15. We'll exit the solarium over here on the port side, and we'll continue down to the pool deck. And again, as we exit the solarium here, you will have that same kind of hot tub style setup that we saw over on the port side, available here on the starboard side. And when we were upstairs, I think I may have said exit the solarium on the port side. I was wrong, starboard side. So that's where we're at right now, starboard side, heading back here on deck 15, entering the main pool deck area. Now, I usually like to film pool decks from up above to kind of get the bird's eye view. It's a little easier to explain things. So I'm gonna step upstairs right now and we can go over the area. All right, so getting our bird's eye view of the pool deck area. Of course, you're gonna have lounge chairs all around. You're gonna have the hot tub there with the cover over it, one over on that side as well. And then they have 2 together over on the port side of the ship. So this open area here in the middle, that looks back down to Central Park. So you're not gonna be able to walk across in the middle. You'll have to go around on the sides. Again, lounge chairs all around though. You will have a pool here. You have the deeper section there where everyone's sitting. This light blue area is actually water as well, so it kind of just comes up beach style. Have the lounge chairs there with the umbrellas up above them. And then over on the other side, you have another pool. Kind of a similar setup. It has a deeper area and then a shelf up above, and then it has the lounge chairs as well. It does also have a chairlift for accessibility if you need that to get in and out of the pool. They do have that as an option. So there you go. That's kind of the pool deck, kind of the overhead view here of what's going on deck 15. Back down on the pool deck here on deck 15, you're gonna have chairs and tables and loungers tucked up inside as well. Couldn't see that from up above because it's covered. One thing I want to point out over there on the port side is a smoking section, should you be looking for that. All right, so just past the main pool area, you will find the pool bar here over on the starboard side. There's also a lifeguard station over here should you need it, and a towel station over there beyond that, just past the stairwell. You can see it there. I'm gonna go up those stairs in just a second to get a bird's eye view of the kids splash play area, but wanted to point out that there is a walk across area here in the middle, because again, you're open air down to Central Park here. So you can't just walk across at any spot. You either have to go across over there or here in the middle. They do have a stage here where they'll have live Caribbean music, things of that nature. And then it's just pretty much the same stuff over there. Lounge chairs, so they do have like kind of the stadium style right there. So lots of options. And then it continues over the side. They have a towel station over there as well as a life jacket rack. Okay, let's go upstairs really quick, get the bird's eye view of this area. All right, so looking back down to deck 15 here, we do have another hot tub with a cover, and then you have kind of like the little kids splash play area. It's very shallow there. They have the water cascading down over these fun like Brito style art sculptures. There's a shallow pool there, 2 feet 9 inches, and just have that whole water area going throughout, and then kind of like a little lap pool area over there as well. Now over on the other side, it's a kind of a similar setup, not as much going on. There's a bit of a larger pool, and then there's another hot tub as well, and they just have like lounge chair space over there. And this is also open in the center, back down to Central Park, completely open air. So we'll need to walk across in the middle area that I just showed you if you want to go through, or actually go inside and across to access that. All right, back down to deck 15. All right, I've stepped inside here so we can get a look at our map. We saw the whole solarium area with those whirlpools on either side. Then we saw the main pool area, the beach pool as well, the bars on either side. H2O zone, that's the name of that kids area that I was just showing, in the sports pool across from that. So now we're back inside here at the aft elevators and stairs. So there's a couple of things on the interior, as you can see. The center area, we're gonna have to go back out, come around here, see all of that stuff. Now there's a couple things on either side of the elevators and stairs here. So I'm gonna kind of try to do a bit of a circle here. Just stay with me. It's gonna get a little confusing, but I'll do my best to try to keep us oriented as we go through the sports court area here. All right, so on the starboard side now, we will find Breeze. This is just a very, very small shop. They have, like on Oasis of the Seas, I think this is where they put the vending machines that you use to buy items, but here they're just selling bags and hoodies and different kind of things, mugs, things like that at Breeze, the shop. And then across from Breeze, we will find the larger arcade. Remember, we saw the small one down on the boardwalk. I mentioned there would be a larger one. This is where that is. So you're gonna have like the VR experience, air hockey tables, a couple of racing games, skee ball, basketball. And of course, these games can change at any time, but just to give you an idea of what kind of things might be in here, a couple of shooter games, the big wheel, a couple of prize kind of games, claw games, things like that. And they do have a prize hub here, so as you accrue virtual tickets on your SeaPass card or on your arcade card, you can redeem them here for different prizes. Now real quick before we go to the back, I want to come back outside again. There's the pool deck area that we saw. They do have the Paddy Dive area right here. You can sign up for scuba diving classes, purchase snorkeling equipment, different things like that when they are open. Just wanted to show that that was right there before we head back. Now there's another thing right inside as well, which is the living room. This is like a teen space on board. Now for our sailing, because we're on the special trade event, Sailing 4-night, you see they have the sign that says media check-in, and then the sign here that says press room. So they're actually not using this space for teens right now. It is just for press, but you can see they have all the like the hangout couches, benches there. They have a juice bar in the middle, big hangout space over on the side, TVs with video games, different things like that for the teens. And there's actually an outdoor space of the living room area, which you can see right here up above the glass there, again for the teens coming right out those doors. That's the area that we just saw. And just next to that outdoor space for the living room, you will also find a ping pong area. So there's a couple ping pong tables there. Then you're going to have some tables and chairs right here. This is fuel, which is usually also used as a teen area, but as you can see on the sign there, it's currently being used for production support. So unfortunately, I cannot show you what's inside of there, but it's just a typical teen tween hangout area. There's not usually too much going on in there, anything worthy of note. You also have some ping pong tables over on this side as well, starboard side. Now also here on the starboard side, you'll see all these tables and chairs, this little eating area. This is for the Wipeout Cafe, which has kind of gone away on other Oasis class ships, but there's something interesting now here with Allure of the Seas coming to Galveston. Let me explain. So the Wipeout Cafe would normally have like ice cream drinks and maybe things like burgers and dogs. It still has ice cream and drinks, but now they've converted this. It's not technically El Loco Fresh, but it's El Loco Fresh at the Wipeout Cafe. So you can see they've put the signs up for the favorites, the tacos, the quesadillas, burritos. They'll have all the toppings in there as well. So they are serving authentic El Loco Fresh food inside here. Even though the space has not been technically converted to El Loco Fresh, they are serving the actual El Loco Fresh food inside. With Allure of the Seas coming to Galveston, they figured they had to have the Tex-Mex option. We haven't been able to do the Royal Amplification yet and officially switch it over, but they are serving the food here. We had some yesterday. It was delicious as always. Oh, here we go. Here's the sign I was looking for. I thought they had one over here. They kind of moved it on me. Wipeout Cafe featuring El Loco Fresh. So they use the same plates, the staff dresses in the outfits that you've seen on other ships. Everything's the same. They just haven't officially changed it over yet. But now you're going to get El Loco Fresh food on Allure of the Seas, which I think is an excellent option. And you can see they have the toppings. They're putting them out right there. Got all like the Dia de los Muertos candy skull, sugar skulls I should say, kind of stuff over there, and toppings getting set up over there as well. Getting that delicious El Loco Fresh food on. All right, so now we're gonna head here and see the rest of the sports deck area. You can see they have the basketball court here, full-size court, rims on either side. Right now set up for pickleball. They'll also set it up for soccer. You can see they have the nets down there. Volleyball as well, so they'll do all kinds of different sports activities there on that court. Now, this sports deck is split, and this is open air down to the boardwalk. Like we saw those areas at the pool deck that were open air to Central Park. This is open air down to the boardwalk, and you actually look out to see there, see the different spots, see the name of the ship, out to the Aqua Theatre, all that stuff. Over across there, we're gonna have the mini golf course. We'll look at that in just a second. But we have to go up and over here on this side, or we can just walk across where we came through by the living room and the ping pong tables over there. Again, you can't just walk across because it's open air. So one thing I want to show back here, actually a couple things, because technically this will be deck 16, so I'm actually getting ahead a little bit, but this is how you access it. So it's important to note that this is where this is. You see the sign says Flowrider here. Let's head up the stairs. And of course, Flowriders are surf simulators on board Royal Caribbean ships. You can do kneeboarding or you can do stand-up surfing simulators right there. They have the waves going. And here on Allure of the Seas, they have 2 of those Flowriders. Every Oasis class ship used to have 2 Flowriders. Then Wonder of the Seas debuted this year, and it only has 1. But this Allure of the Seas still has 2. You can see one on either side here. And then in the middle, you do have the Wipeout bar. If you want to grab some drinks, you can do so there. Lounge space, tables and chairs here on the back. On other ships, this is where you would find the entrance to the Ultimate Abyss. But again, Allure of the Seas does not have that. So you're free to just come back out here, take in the wake view, or even look down to the Aqua Theatre. And the Flowriders do have a built-in bench seating area if you want to view and spectate people getting the surf simulator action on. Let's head back down. So now we will find the Allure Dunes here on the port side of the sports deck. This is the mini golf course, 9-hole, plus the little practice putting green here with the fun little character animals. I want to point out that there is a ramp over on this side as well, so if you're unable to use the stairs, you can use that ramp to get up to the Flowriders there. So they have the putters here, the balls, everything you need. This is included with your cruise fare. All of these things are included with your cruise fare, actually. Basketball, volleyball, mini golf, Flowriders, all that fun stuff you can do for free, included with your price of admission. So there you go. Old style golf course here. They haven't updated to the newer style we see on the other ships, but you can still play and have a good time. One last thing to show in this area, you see this kind of little landing pad area. We see the line going across. Yes, this is Zipline. You can see the words right up there. Zipline, again, included with your cruise fare. You do not have to pay additional for this. Go up there, they get harnessed in, get you all set up, and you actually zip right across all those decks up right above the boardwalk and land right here. Such a cool feature to have on a cruise ship. I wanted to stop back here at this sports court specific map because this just kind of gives a great idea of how things are laid out. I know that area was kind of confusing, so we came here, the elevators and stairs. We saw the arcade. We didn't really get to see fuel or the living room, kind of. This is a teen spot that they're using for media and production right now. Wipeout Cafe featuring El Loco Fresh. The ping pong tables on either side. And then you have the Allure Dunes, the mini golf course there. Basketball, pickleball, volleyball there. Zip line going across in the middle above the boardwalk. And then up the stairs or the ramps to the 2 Flowriders and the Wipeout bar on the back. And that was quite an adventure, lots of stuff to take in on deck 15, but we have seen it all now, so we are good to go ahead and proceed up to deck 16. Deck 16, our penultimate deck begins. So we can see here, there's not a lot going on because the middle area is open air down below, and it's just kind of the skywalk, kind of like a sun lounge area. The solarium bar we already saw. That was that upper deck area of the solarium. We already checked that out. So that means we really only have one big thing to see here, and it is in the aft where we are right now. Windjammer Marketplace, which of course is the buffet on board included with your cruise fare. And now that we are back to normal with our operations post-COVID protocols, breakfast, lunch, and dinner available once again in the Windjammer. So per the usual, the Windjammer is going to be a massive, massive space. The food is going to be more towards the interior. The seating is going to be along the perimeter. You will see Coke Freestyle machines throughout the space as well to use with your refillable cup from your drink packages, and you will see floor-to-ceiling windows all the way around too. So they're going to have beverage stations located throughout, serving up those included drinks with your cruise fare. And then again, the different various food stations will change throughout the day based on the meal, breakfast, lunch, or dinner. And then also will change nightly for what they're serving. They'll usually do different themed dinners, so could be Italian, could be Indian, could be American, different kind of stuff. You're gonna have different sizes of tables and chairs all throughout. And again, those floor-to-ceiling windows are going to continue, so you get those great views wherever you're sat. There's another section here in the back. Everything continues. Cool part about this section though is that you have those panoramic windows looking out to the sports courts, so the basketball area, mini golf, back out to the Flowriders. But then in the central area here, you can actually see out to the Boardwalk, and beyond that, the Aqua Theatre. So if there's an Aqua Theatre show going on, you will be able to see that from your table, which we did on night 1 of our sailing. So it's a really great spot to have a nice view here as you dine in the Windjammer. As you can see, massive, just continues on throughout all kinds of seating spaces. No food areas right here in the back. Those are all going to be reserved for the starboard side and the port side, but it's going to just be kind of a mirror image of those sides. So not really too much differentiation there. Lots of space to come in and dine, lots of good food to grab. And with the Windjammer covered, we just need to kind of go out here and see this skywalk area. We've already seen it a little bit, but let's go take another quick look. So here we are on that skywalk area. This is where we came to get our bird's eye view. It's just going to be lounge chairs and little day beds, open air, open sun. You do have a small mast bar right there in the sailaway bar over on the other side, but that's really it. It just kind of continues around. It's really just a place to lounge and get some sun, or to transverse from the front to the aft. Like that's about it though. There's really nothing else out here, so there's really nothing else to see. Well, Mama's wrong again. Except not Mama this time. It was me. I was wrong again. I said there was pretty much nothing else to see out here, but there is actually, because there are sets of stairs on the starboard or port sides, either one, up here towards the front, that will take you up to an exclusive area. And that's the only way to access that area is right outside here on deck 16 on the skywalk area. So let's go up there and take a look. So here, deck 16 forward, you have this option on the port and starboard side is the entrance to the suite sun deck. You see right here, reserved for Star, Sky, and Pinnacle. You need to use your Sea Pass card or WOW band to get up there, and that is the space up there. So even though we're doing 16 right now, I'm gonna go ahead and head up. That'll technically be 17, but this is how we access it. So once you tap your Sea Pass card, and now it's open, it's unlocked, so now we can head up. So we've now ascended the stairwell. You get a great view here of the pool deck and the back of the rest of the back of the ship, and all around on the sides as well out to the ocean. So right when we come up, we will find the Sweet Sun Zone bar serving up the drinks right there. You'll have lounge chairs all throughout here, tables and chairs, comfy seating as well, and it's just going to be kind of a circle. It's going to wrap around here. They do have fresh towels if you need them as well. So coming around to the front side here, they do have some freshwater showers, some more lounge chairs, and you do have the glass here helping to block the wind. But you do get a nice view down into the solarium, which is pretty cool. You can look into there, and you can even go up above and look out to the ocean ahead of you. Anyways, we wrap around here. I always like this little spot. You have these little day beds that are tucked up into these little alcoves, so you really have some privacy here. Nice big day bed, couple of comfy lounge chairs, and a small table or footrest. Got the glass again looking back into the solarium, but you have these walls on either side that are giving you the privacy from the other section, so it's a really nice feature to have. And now as we wrap around to the port side, it's going to be pretty much a mirror image of the starboard side. You're going to have the lounge chairs right there, and then wrap around over here to the side. Again, the glass continuing throughout. More lounge chairs over here. Just on this side, there is no bar, but you do have a set of restrooms. And then it just continues on back where we were, or you have another staircase right over here. Again, you can access this deck from either side, starboard or port, as long as you have your Sea Pass card or WOW band that grants you access. So if you're a Sky or a Star Class Suite level guest, or you're a Pinnacle member of the Crown and Anchor Society, you will have the ability to use this space. Last little bit right here, a couple high top tables and chairs, some other chairs tucked up along the wall here, looking back down to Central Park and out to the pool deck. So with that, like I mentioned, we already saw the solarium bar earlier, so we are done with deck 16. I mentioned it was our penultimate deck. Deck 17, the last one listed here, technically There is kind of a deck 18, but those are just for the loft suites. They're just the upper deck of those. There's nowhere else like to go. There's no public space up there. So we're gonna head up to deck 17 and wrap this tour up. All right, up on deck 17 now, and here's something funny. There's nothing listed in the forward part of deck 17, but technically, that's where we saw the suite sun deck. But you'll notice it's not listed on the map. You will not find that listed on the map anywhere, but you access it from the outside deck like I showed you earlier. So just head out from there and go to that, but you won't see it here. So the only thing to see on deck 17 is this area right off the aft elevators and stairs. So you see here the royal suites and loft suites all the way around, so it's just the staterooms. There's only two things right here in the central area: coastal kitchen and the suite lounge. Both of these spots are for suite guests only. So Coastal Kitchen is a restaurant serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner, available to star and sky level guests. Sea level guests staying in junior suites can also dine here for dinner if there is availability, but they will have the lowest priority. So you see they have the tables and chairs set up there, got the big open windows, and you're gonna have the bar in the center there. Now this space stretches across. Unfortunately, I can't go in right now because they don't have it open during the sailing, but it does stretch right across. The other side is the suite lounge. So over on the port side of the elevators and stairs, you'll find the entrance to the aforementioned suite lounge. And again, it's just a continuation of the same space. You can see the bar in the middle that we just saw over on the Coastal Kitchen side, but this side is just the lounge. So just tables and chairs. There's the concierge desk here to help you get things set up. And they do have a small like bar service area over here where you can grab little hors d'oeuvres, snacks, and drinks throughout the day. And then you'll have those beautiful views back out to the rest of the ship. Well, there you have it, friends. That is our tour of Royal Caribbean's Allure of the Seas. We hope you enjoyed it. Hope you found it informational. And again, if you're interested in more content from Allure of the Seas or that brand new terminal here in Galveston, Texas, be sure to check out our Allure of the Seas playlist where you can find all of those different videos. We're also going to have some room tours on there. Lots of fun stuff from this special 4-night trade event sailing. And if you're interested in sailing from Galveston, Texas on board Allure of the Seas or from any other cruise port on any other Royal Caribbean ship, we would love to make that happen. As travel agents, it would be our pleasure, and our services are completely free to you. We charge no fees or costs whatsoever, and you won't pay a single cent more to book with us than you would on your own. So feel free to reach out via the travel agent information. You can find it in the description of this video. If you've recently booked your Royal Caribbean cruise within the past 30 days and you've not paid in full, you can transfer your booking to our agency. We can take over and help you the rest of the way. That is also completely free of charge, so we hope we'll hear from you soon. Once again, I want to thank you for joining us for today's video. We're signing off. We'll see you next time. Happy travels!